Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. And today we're going to be taking a look at all the information that was revealed in the JP live stream. Of course, this week we were due to get a new event with the end of the Australia record happening soon. So I'm very curious to see what we have in store for us. And I hope you guys are just like me and are waiting to see what is in store for us. Now, of course, if you guys going to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi and Danmachi Memoria Freese content, and leave a comment down below. Are you guys excited for this new event? Are you guys going to be summoning on the new characters as well? Because of course, with the new event, we are going to be getting some new characters. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are going to be summoning for them. So the first thing they spoke about in the live stream was pretty much a lot of the anime related stuff. They were talking about actually the past season, of course, and how they enjoyed it and stuff like that. And they talked a bit about what they're doing in game, of course, as well. So as you guys know, we have a free 11 draw gacha every day. You guys can see I'm uploading shorts every day, actually, you know, showing you guys what I get from my free multi every single day. This is going to go on for the next 2.5 weeks basically, right? So feel free to check those shorts out and make sure you guys pull on these free multis, because I mean, hey, it's a chance at getting a good 4-star potentially. It's a very low chance, but it is a chance nonetheless, right? So of course we have this. Then of course we got 400 iris last week. You can still claim that up till the 30th of March, so that's at least good, I suppose, right? And of course the side stories are still in the game, and then the Australia record stuff is still going on until this Thursday, which is something I actually need to do. I need to still auto farm and farm the current stages, because I haven't completed the gnome tickets yet. The banners are also live till the 23rd, so if you're interested in pulling on these banners, go for it. But I would say probably save your currency, because we have obviously new units coming out this week as well. Of course, Riveria is also out. She's a really solid unit. I wouldn't say she's game breaking or revolutionary or anything of that sort, but she has her position in the meta potentially with the win team, but nothing more than that, I would say. I mean, especially against the Juggernaut, the final trial Juggernaut, you're going to be able to use her tremendously. But to be quite honest, if you have the light team from the 5th anniversary, you should be able to clear it very, very easily, to be quite honest. So yeah, that was pretty much the information they went over. First and foremost, they spoke a bit about the anime and stuff, right? But now we're obviously getting the new events. We're back to getting some new events. I'm very excited to be seeing what they have in store for us. And the big prediction before the live stream and, you know, in the last couple of days was that the next event was going to be Sword Oratoria 10's adaptation. This was something that we knew was coming for the spring season alongside the 3rd Hero Festa banners, right? So it was definitely due that we were going to be getting Sword Oratoria 10, and that is exactly what we're getting. We are getting Sword Oratoria 10's adaptation this week. It's called Overture of the Sword and Spear. Of course, the main characters in Sword Oratoria 10 was Eyes and Finn, basically, right? So they're the two characters we're getting, and supporting them, we do get a new Alicia, which is sick, by the way. I really like her design. A bit weird that they've gone for this Robin Hood design, but I'm still digging it. And then, of course, we have a Riveria as well. So very, very nice selection of characters. If you clear all the quests of the Sword Oratoria 10 chapter, we do get a guaranteed 11 draw ticket, a 4-star guaranteed 11 draw ticket for the banner itself. So you will get one of these 4 characters for free. These characters are also going to be non-time limited. Whenever we get these Sword Oratoria adaptations and everything along those lines, basically, right? These are always usually non-time limited units. So that is something to take note of. And one more thing to add as well is that this is also possibly where we will be getting our Hero Festa potentially. I wouldn't confirm it because we still don't know when the Hero Festa is coming out. They didn't mention that there was going to be like a special reveal for any sort of announcement or anything, like how we did for a Stray record. They dropped a premiere on like Monday randomly, you know, with them announcing Hero Festa, Elise and Ryu, right? They haven't announced anything like that yet. They said that the next live stream is going to be 2 weeks from now. So we don't exactly know if there's going to be a Hero Festa related to this sort of storyline, to be quite honest. I thought it was, but We don't know yet. We don't know yet. We don't have any information about it yet. So yeah, they have said that Danmachi on the site, Sword Oratoria Volume 10, will soon be available as a fully voiced long tail. So of course, if you have been keeping up to date with Sword Oratoria through the game, we're obviously getting the next volume right now in game as well. So it's a great opportunity for you to catch up, right? And then if you clear the last stage on very hard, you get an Overture 4-star guaranteed 11 draw ticket, which will allow you to get one of the 4 units. We obviously have a Dark Eyes here, Sword of Hesitation Eyes. You can see by the purple aura, it's a dark unit. Then we have Spear of Reflection Finn, which is a thunder unit. You can see by the jagged lines and everything, it is a thunder unit. Usually it's always a little bit confusing between thunder and light units, to be quite honest, because the auras are so similar. But for Finn, it was kind of obvious because of the jagged lines and the lightning bolts around him, basically, right? We also have Alicia, who, I'm not gonna lie, I initially thought was a wind unit because of the sort of light green color, basically, but then I realized it was immediately like light. Actually, it's just light, the element light, basically, right? And then Riveria is our assist for this set, basically, right? So it is a 2-unit banner each. You can see right here that Eyes and Riveria are going to be on one banner, and then the other banner is Alicia and Finn. And I'll say this, by the way, Eyes and Riveria being on the same banner is huge. A lot of players will probably summon on this banner, and we'll go into why, because let's take a look at the translations for what these units are capable of doing. So if we take a look at the Discord, big shout out to Jasi yet again for getting the translations in a very neat and tidy order. So let's have a look and see what we have. So of course, by the way, there is an April Memoria coming. It is all party earth and thunder attack damage plus 6% for 11 turns 11 to 15. We'll talk about that later on. We probably will see it in the slideshow, so we'll check it out in a bit. But let's take a look at Eyes first and foremost. So Eyes is a single target unit. You'll be using her in Wreck-It Buster and PvE game modes primarily, basically. Her special arts is Foe, Ultra Dark, Magic Attack with Ultra Critical Rate, Skill Damage plus 40%, per self, Magic Dex, Crit Rate buff, and allies Magic 120% and Dark Attack damage 90% for 2 turns, which is really, really solid. So she's basically getting a total of 240%, provided you give her Magic, Dexterity, and Crit Rate buffs, which is pretty easy to achieve, to be quite honest. And then on top of that, she's also able to support the allies with 120% magic and dark attack damage plus 90% for 2 turns. So if you want to try and build up a sort of like dark PvE team, which you kind of can. Obviously, we had the anime Kaguya recently, right? You can maybe chuck in Astraeus in there as well, potentially. You can chuck in the 5th anniversary Finn, right? These are some options you can probably use to your advantage. We also have Dark Grievous as well, right? So you could probably build up a sort of dark PvE team, but still, I would say Dark is not in the best of positions, right? So that's also something that I would like to point out as well. Her first skill is 69 MP, single target, fast mid-dark magic attack, and ST damage taken plus 30% for 2 turns, and she gives herself magic and dark attack damage plus 60% for 2 turns, and she gives herself 4 additional actions of a single target, mid-dark magic attack, and extends status debuffs by 2 turns for on foes, that is, and ally status extend status buffs by 2 turns, which is really, really nice. I think giving her the ability to extend status debuffs on foes and status buffs on allies is really, really helpful, because we need, I think for each element, you kind of need a unit that is capable of doing that, right? While we obviously have Haruhime, who's a very universal unit, right? She's capable of going on to any team because of her support ability, right? It is nice to have a, just a DPS unit that's capable of doing this. Like how, for example, we have Fianna for the light team and, so on and so forth. We have so many other units now as well that is capable of doing this. So getting one of these units for the dark team is definitely very helpful. What I'm doing right now, by the way, if you guys are wondering why I'm looking down, I have the game open right now because I want to have a look at Kaguya, right? Anyways, I believe personally, because of the lack of units when it comes to the dark team, to be quite honest, I feel like the dark team hasn't gotten too much love, right? We obviously have Astraeus, who's a phenomenal war games unit, but when it comes to PvE, right, dark units aren't living the best life, even when you look at the assist side of things, right? Well, I will like to reserve judgment on that just for a second, because Riveria is actually going to support the dark team, and we'll talk about her in just a second. But when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, we haven't gotten that many dark supporting assists as well. So the dark PvE team is kind of lacking in some way, shape, and form, to be quite honest. So there is that factor as well. So yeah, let's take a look at this now. Let's take a deeper look into eyes as well. So her second skill is 52 MP, allies 30% HP heal and 30% HP regen for 4 turns, and foe dex critical god rate minus 30% for 4 turns, and allies dex critical rate and god rate plus 30% for 4 turns. So that's kind of nice. At least it's pretty darn useful for the team, especially in terms of protection and healing. It'll come in handy tremendously. Her third skill is 49 MP. It's a single target slow super dark magic attack with critical rate skill damage plus 30% per self magic dexterity crit rate buff, and allies cure ailments. Now that is a 180% damage boost on eyes. I'm taking a look at Kaguya as well. Kaguya is a fast super dark physical attack damage buff plus 50% per each self STR and dexterity buff skill. So it's a lot easier to get Kaguya's off, right? She'll get the 200% boost basically. She gets a 200% boost compared to 180% right here with this eyes, right? And then on top of that, right, she's also able to effectively, you know, do the same level of damage in terms of a super modifier as well. So there is that factor as well, and it's also easier because she only requires strength and dexterity, whereas eyes requires magic, dexterity, and crit rate buffs, which is kind of a little bit more annoying and a little bit more challenging because you'll need to get all 3 sorted out. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just that Kaguya is a little bit easier in that regards. She gives herself 45% light res, 35% magic agility and dexterity, 20% damage on crit and penetration, and 60% counter damage. She also has insect killer, which is not bad, which means of course we know what our next familiar event is going to be. It's going to be something related to insects, so that is something to bear in mind. The next unit we have to take a look at is Finn. So his special arts is AoE, so he's a war games unit, ultra thunder physical attack with ultra penetration rate and temporary great strength boost. There is no damage modifier there, and well, it is a damage modifier, but there's no damage modifier based on a buff or debuff basically. He's also able to remove status buffs and also reduce the opponent's strength, magic, and thunderous by 50%, and also increase the damage taken from single target attacks by 50%. So it's not a bad skill, to be quite honest. It's very interesting that it increases the single target damage taken by 50%. I'm very surprised that he does that, to be quite honest. That's a very interesting skill considering he's an AoE attacker. But I mean, hey, it'll come in handy, I suppose, for PvE contents, to be fair. So his first skill is foe slow mid thunder physical attack with ultra on counter rate and self STR agility dexterity thunder attack damage plus 50% for 5 turns, and adds 3 additional actions of foe's mid thunder physical attack with ultra penetration rate skill damage plus 40% per foe P-res buff and AoE damage taken added but debuff as well. Okay, so for every foe P-res debuff as well as every time they get a AoE damage taken increase basically, right? So attack type all targets damage debuff basically, right, that they have, you'll get 40%. So you'll probably get like 160% through the additional attacks, which is nice. His second skill is a fast remove AoE damage taken lowered buff. So any sort of damage reduction they have from all target attacks will be removed, and he also gives P-res minus 40% and AoE damage taken plus 40% for 4 turns. Interesting. Okay, so that is very, very interesting. Okay, I think I like this unit because one thing he does is that his first skill is a slow attack, right? It's a slow mid thunder physical attack, and he's giving himself all his STR agility dexterity thunder attack damage buffs there basically, 50% there, which is really, really solid because he'll go last basically, which means he's less under threat from units like Bell and Vesta basically, right? Because they'll not be able to remove and strip away his agility buffs and stuff like that. And then on his second turn he has effectively a buff effectively. It's not a attack or anything of that sort. It's a fast buff, which means he will go, or he will be, I should say, one of the first units to go. I was gonna say he will be the first unit to go, but that's not the case because, you know, you never know with the agility RNG and war games, right? So there is that advantage. I think that's pretty darn solid. He'll be a very good option for penetrating through stall teams. I think that so far with this Finn, this is a stall breaker and a half, to be quite honest. You'll definitely be using him as a stall breaker for sure. Let's look at Alicia now. Alicia is a light unit, as we expected, a light magic unit. Her special arts is foes ultra light magic attack with ultra and god rate and temporary grade magic boost, and allies magic and light attack damage plus 90% for 4 turns, and foes remove P-res, M-res, fire, water, thunder, earth, wind, light, and dark res debuffs, dark res buffs basically. So she removes basically every resist buff basically on the enemy with her special arts, which is good. I mean, especially if you can pull it off, that'll be really good. Her first skill is 90 MP highlight magic attack with ultra high penetration rate, I should say, sorry, and temporary magic boost and counter rate, heal rate, and light res minus 40% for 4 turns, and self magic and agility plus 60% for 4 turns, and adds 3 additional actions of foes mid light magic attack with ultra and god rate, skill damage plus 40% per self agility boost. Okay, that's very good. And again, with the counter rate, heal rate, and light res down, makes me think that they're gonna penetrate through stall again with this Alicia. Her second skill is 62 MP, allies fast light damage plus 60%, and dark res plus 40% for 3 turns, and foes STR magic agility minus 40% for 1 turn, and remove dark attack damage and light res buffs, and allies 10% MP heal. This is a counter to Astraeus. They literally designed this Alicia to be a counter to Astraeus. In fact, you'd probably use these two together. Again, they've designed the banners in a very nice way, in my personal opinion, because you're going to be using both of them together, to be quite honest. I wouldn't be surprised if people were trying to run something like maybe Alicia, Finn, Helga, and Belle, maybe Hero Festa Belle. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing teams like that potentially. That would be very interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be summoning, to be honest, just yet, because I'm saving up for the Hero Festa and, of course, the anniversary, right? Anniversary is only 3 months away. And, of course, we have a Hero Festa in between, so saving up makes sense. But this is very interesting, in all honesty. This is great if you want to counter up against, if you want to go, when you're going up against stall teams and you want to counter against them, this is a really good option, it feels like. And especially if you're using her, actually, I should also mention, this is the reason why I didn't mention this unit, and I just remembered her because I just remembered her, and that is Alize, Light Alize, actually. I think with Light Alize especially, Light Alize is going to see a lot more usage now because of this Alicia, I feel like. The ability to remove dark attack damage and light res buffs on enemies is insane, in all honesty. That is crazy. So yeah, I do think that she'll be also really good with the Light Alize that is currently available actually as well. So yeah. Her third skill is 45 MP, foe super light magic attack with high ultra and god rate and temporary grade magic boost, and allies cure status ailments. 45% dark rays and counters an RA or light magic attack, 35% magic agility dexterity, 30% damage on penetration, 25% P-res, M-res, and insect killer. Yeah, even Finn has insect killer. I feel like I forgot about looking at that, but yeah, both of them have insect killer. Fantastic. And Riveria, which is our final unit for the banner, gives foes dark res minus 25%, self critical rate plus 30%, and adds 4 instant effects of, oh no, when attacked, foe low dark magic attack and STR magic minus 40% for 2 turns. This effect can happen twice. Now, this is magic attack, so it's a little less annoying, but it's still going to be annoying potentially in the future if we get more magic units that are dark and are capable of being very good in the meta, to be quite honest. She's going to be a menace, to be quite honest. A very similar unit to Argonaut, to be quite honest. Argonaut, the assist Argonaut is 20% light res and thunder res down, and he gives himself penetration rate. The unit he's on, penetration rate, very similar, except it's dark res minus 25% and critical rate plus 30%. That's pretty much the only changes there, and of course it's a dark unit. I think they've done a great job here in terms of making sure the units were actually together. I was a little bit worried about this, but the fact that they put Aizen and Riveria together, which you want to be together because they're both fit for the dark team, right? So that's fantastic. And then you have the stall breakers together on a banner as well. So, if you are looking for PvE contents, you're wanting to be better in Wreck-It Buster, these two are the units you should go for. And then if you're trying to look for stall breakers for your team, maybe you want to work on Alize being better, or you want to bring in Finn potentially. these are two great options. Now this Friday on live stream, I will be doing a live stream this Friday. I will be testing these units out. I will be checking them out in war games. I will be trialing against various players, so be sure to be around for that. There will be a scheduled live stream planned out for that, so be sure to stick around and get subscribed for that, to be quite honest, because I want to test these units out. This Alicia and Finn are very, very interesting to me. Very, very interesting. Oh yeah, by the way, US 5th anniversary is coming around. Like I said, on the 27th, we are celebrating our 5th anniversary. We already have technically the free multis going on, right? Usually we would get free multis alongside the US anniversary, but because they're already going on, technically it's a part of the anniversary. But we are also getting bundles for the US anniversary, and that's about it. They don't really do much for the US anniversary, to be quite honest. Like I said, their focus is always on the JP anniversary. So obviously I would suggest, if you're thinking that there's going to be something amazing happening for the US anniversary, it's not. Maybe we might get a gift in the gift box for the US anniversary, but even then I would temper expectations, to be quite honest. You get a prism bond, you get an assist prism bond. There also seems to be a 5-star, a 5-year 4-star guaranteed. So the only 4 stars that'll be in the banner are those that were added after April 2022, basically. I don't think that includes time limited units, so I would be wary when you summon for these. We'll check out in the data mine what it looks like. You also get 11 draw tickets times 2 and 15 ascension fall. Now, I mean, it depending on what the price is, it won't be the worst. I wouldn't be surprised if this costs like 1200 paid iris, but even then I would probably say easy skip, to be quite honest. Very, very easy skip. So yeah, we have the schedule. Of course, this Thursday we're going to be getting the new event, Overture of the Sword and Spear. We're going to be getting the bundles for that event as well. The US anniversary bundle is going to be this Thursday as well. We are getting the heroic trials for the manga event as well. I don't remember the other 3 units. I think one of them is a Riveria. I don't remember the other 2 units, but the first set is going to be Belle, Lafia, and Hestia. I'll go into details about which one you should probably pick up when it drops. Of course, bonus iris campaign is coming back. This week we have a record buster against light Riveria, so expect there to be a light resistance and of course a dark resist down, effectively, right? She's probably going to be weak to dark. Not probably, she will definitely be weak to dark attacks. And then on the 24th we get a login bonus. Very, very, very weak login bonus, to be quite honest. Next week, Telskura Abyss is going to reset. The number of parties that can be registered will be going from 7 to 9, so at least there's that. And then War Games is next week as well. No mention of it being linked to familiar War Games, so I guess no familiar War Games for the time being. And then finally, we have a Familiar Rush coming. I'll be going into more details about the Familiar Rush in next week's live stream, but let's go over what the weaknesses and stuff are, because our friend Jossie has also translated those, because they did show it off in the JP live stream. For some reason, it seems like they didn't want to show it off in the US US slides, I suppose, so it is what it is. But it will be out next week, so don't worry, there will be these slides in English next week. But stage 1 is obviously Insect Killer will be effective this Familiar Rush, and light magic, basically. So you can see right here, there's a minus 50% magic resistances, 60% physical res, and minus 60% light res. Now, even though there's a 60% physical res, I do think that you will be able to get away with using a light physical team, to be quite honest. In all honesty, with how good the light physical team is, I think you should be able to get across that boundary very, very easily. There is also the fact that the foes will inflict a STR debuff, so I guess that's even worse for the light physical team. Allies will get a dark attack damage buff, and allies get an all elemental resist buff. Okay, so that's where you will need the new Alicia, of course, so that you can remove those buffs and debuffs, basically. Makes sense, makes sense. So yeah, these are the resistances, of course, as you can see here. Physical 60, magic minus 50, light minus 60, fire, earth, wind, water 0, thunder 30%, and dark 40%. Stage 2 is Insect Killer once again, and thunder physical. Allies AoE and ST damage taken reduced. Again, you want to bring in a unit like Finn, who's able to strip away those things. Physical minus 30%, magic 0%, fire, earth, wind, water 0%, minus 70% thunder res, 40% light res, and 0 dark res. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then stage 3 is Insect Killer once again, of course, and dark magic being effective. Self light magic buff, self remove status debuffs, and self P-res and M-res buff. The weaknesses and resistances are physical 40%, magic minus 30%, 0 fire, 0 earth, 60 wind, 0 water, 0 thunder, 40% light res, and minus 30% dark res. So make sure you're ready if you are part of a familiar to get ready for this familiar fight. Hopefully it goes well for you guys. And yeah, I think with that, that is the end of all the translations for this live stream. Let's have a look and see what else is coming out. Of course, we looked at the Memoria. It is a 6% to turns 11 to 15 for earth and thunder attack damage, which is nice. I mean, you're going to be using it mainly in Record Buster and maybe True Familiar Royale, but even then it's probably unlikely. I would suggest if you are working on your Memorias right now, focus on the turns 1 to 5 and the turns 6 to 10 buffs more so, because they're way more important than turns 11 to 15, to be quite honest. I would say that for sure. So yeah, obviously you can see turns 11 to turns 15, 6% to thunder and earth attack damage basically. More combos, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's live stream. The next live stream is taking place 2 weeks from now. No mention of the Hero Festa, like I said, but I still believe that the Hero Festa is going to be linked to this event, to be quite honest. I still personally believe that. We'll just have to wait and see what they do in the next couple of weeks. I mean, spring is a long time. Spring can be anytime from now to May, to be quite honest. And there is a very high chance that the next Hero Festa might actually be linked to the 5th anniversary rerun we'll get in May. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys thought of this event. Let me know if you guys are planning on summoning on this banner. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.